When I was younger, I took a test called the California Standards Test, which asked questions all about California to elementary school children. There are two questions that are always in my head. The first one was, what is the weather in California during the summer? And I would respond to it hot and dry. The second one was, what is the weather in California during the winter? And I would respond to it wet and rainy. Now, several years later, I do see changes of the weather and the nature around me that contradict my knowledge from which I was in elementary school. This became especially important right now because of the wildfires throughout the world, rising temperature, and other phenomenons that have been happening recently also. I would like to explain that this controversial social issue is real and will impact how we live in the future. According to the website nrdc.org, it states that a simple definition of global warming is over the past 50 years, the average global temperature has increased at the fastest rate in recorded history and is still continuing today. This is super important because this is the only world we lived in, and if we abuse our home too much, we wouldn't have anywhere else to live in. And another website also explains that global warming is mainly caused due to carbon dioxide and all other pollution that is created from the greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. This is mainly due to pollution caused by humans, by us. And people do not know the importance of saving the earth because of how bad the condition is right now with COVID and how that is our main priority as of right now. We are not noticing that wildfires are happening more often, and that it still gets 90 degrees in the middle of fall. There are some differences, like how back in the day, like it would be wet and rainy in the winter at the right time, but now it's dry and cloudy, it barely rains, and I noticed that other people do notice that also. The burning of fossil fuel and also the different types of pollutions, according to lifescience.com, which is created by people, are also the land, air, water, noise, and light pollutions. This is mainly due to our recklessness, and due to COVID, it's been getting better, but we've been purchasing more items, storing a lot of stuff. It's not getting better. Although this may seem as just a recurring fact that many people recite over and over again, there are still people who do not believe in the fact that climate change is real and is important. This is seen as a controversial issue because, according to S. George Philander in his book Climate Change, he states, "We are betting that the benefits of our industrial and agricultural activities, and we're making bets that are not being used wisely for the future." There are also many people who do not believe in climate change, and nobody could not change their mind. According to theconversation.com, it states that denial is repressed knowledge. For climate change, the repression occurs at both the psychological level and social level. So it states that people do not believe in climate change because it doesn't affect them, and they're just basically in denial of climate change. Although this may apply to some people, there is a small number of people who are denying the importance of pollution and global warming, which is really good. Currently, right now, those who are being impacted and involved with global warming and the drastic changes in weather is primarily those around the world. Changes such as the wildfires in California, the Amazons, and Australia are some examples that have happened this past year. Right now, COVID has changed some of the factors of pollution throughout the world. For example, in the beginning of the year, people didn't go out as much, and people in China were surprised to see the sky for the first time in years. But instead, like I said, more trash is created by people because of their storing habits and making sure they could live and be in their house as long as they could. The people on this earth are not paying attention to the long-term effects that could happen to them to climate change. According to the nrdc.org, we can make changes such as using renewable energy, reducing water waste, eat at home, and other factors that could also help our problem towards this controversial social issue of climate change and global warming. Although climate change might not be on the top of anybody's mind right now, I feel that it is very controversial and important for everyone to talk about. Due to current affairs such as COVID and other events, we can focus on climate change, but we should be able to talk and create large changes in order to fix the earth we live on. I believe the reason why people do not talk about climate change enough is that they've been told that this is a problem so many times that they just pass it off to the next generation's problem. I hope that we can work something out so that we can live on this earth for many more years.